Hey guys! As some of you might know, I am homeschooled. When I tell someone that I am homeschooled, I typically get one of three responses. The first one is, oh, that's cool. And then they typically stop talking to me and go somewhere else. The second one would be, oh, that's cool. And then they ask me questions because they really want to know more about being homeschooled. The third one is, oh, my blank relative friend, something along those lines, homeschools too. Being homeschooled brings a lot of questions from people when you tell them that you're homeschooled. A lot of the time, people ask the same kind of questions, so I get the same questions a lot, and I thought, why don't I answer some of them right now? So these are the top 10 questions that I get all the time when I tell someone that I'm homeschooled. The first question is, how do you socialize? This one bothers me the most because most of the time when they're asking me, I am in a social situation, socializing with them, and they're asking me how I socialize. My typical answer is, I am here talking to you, aren't I? Number 2 is, do you get detention? I do not get detention. What I get typically is a punishment. The reason I would get detention would be if I wasn't listening to my mom, who's my teacher, wasn't getting my homework done for my classes, and other things like that. When I was younger, punishments used to be not watching TV for the whole night, not getting computer time that day, things like that. So I never got detention, but I just got punishments. Number 3 is, do you get to do school in your PJs? Sometimes I do. My mom doesn't really like me to do it in my PJs because I'm still kind of in that tired mode where I'm not really focused on things. So she does prefer if I get dressed. A lot of the days during the week, I am not actually at my house, or if I am, I'm with other people. So I typically get dressed right after breakfast. Number 4 is, what time do you get up? I usually wake up at around 8 or 8:30, sometimes a little bit closer to 9. I really should get up at 8, but I often get up at 8:30. Number 5 is, do you get sick days or snow days? Don't get snow days from the work that I do at home, but at my homeschool group, if there's enough snow that enough people can't get there, we do get a snow day, and then we just have to have an extra day at the end of the school year. I do not get sick days unless I am so out of it, like I have a 101 fever or something like that. If I have just a cold, I don't get a sick day. I have to go downstairs and do my school. Number 6, this one was really more when I was younger, but people used to ask me, do you get recess? No, I never got recess, but I was allowed to take breaks if I needed them whenever I needed them. So often I would do a subject and then take a 15-minute break or something, and then come back and do another one, and then another 15-minute break, or things like that. Number 7, so who teaches you? My mom teaches me a lot of my classes, but since 5th grade I've gone to this homeschool group, and I take some classes there. So I have other teachers, but my main teacher is my mom. Number 8, this one I just heard recently, and I feel like I've heard it before, but I don't know. Do you get to go on a lot of excursions? Now, I don't really go on field trips. I've never really gone on field trips, except for a couple times with my early elementary science classes. But a lot of times, if I'm at home with my mom and she's going shopping or something, I will stop what I'm doing with my school and go with her and then continue my school when I get home. So I don't really go on excursions or field trips or anything like that, but I can go places with a little bit more flexibility throughout the day. Number 9 is, have you / do you want to go to public school? I have never been to public school. I have been homeschooled my whole life, and I will be homeschooled through 12th grade. I don't really want to go to public school because I like having the flexibility that I have with being homeschooled, and I like the people that I know from being homeschooled and the things that I get to do while I'm homeschooled, like my homeschool group. I like doing that, and just things like that where I have more flexibility, and I would rather be homeschooled than go to public school or even a private school. Number 10, what is your favorite thing about being homeschooled? I have a lot of favorite things, but I have to say being able to get food or tea or use the bathroom whenever I need to is really nice. And being able to listen to music while I do my schoolwork. Some days I will have my earbud in, or if I'm by myself I won't have an earbud, I'll just have music playing on my iPod for the whole day. One day I had gotten up at 8:30, started around 9 or 10, had music playing the whole time until I was done my school at around 2. I also would not have met a lot of the people that I know if I hadn't been homeschooled. The majority of my friends are also homeschooled, and I met them at my homeschool group. I do have a lot of friends who are not homeschooled, but they're not as close to me as my friends who are homeschooled and that I see multiple days a week, every week. So I hope that answers some of your questions if you were wondering things about homeschool, and if they didn't and you had more questions, comment them down below and I will answer them to the best of my ability. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, comment down below, follow me on all of my social media websites, and I love you and I will see you next week. Bye! So bored. What do we do? Oh, I'm hungry. Chips. Chips are good. Still bored. Ooh, TV.